Oh, right, man. Had to try something new, man. Do a little countdown, you know what I'm saying? like a real podcast supposed to do. Anyway, man, welcome to MKT. Man, we're gonna get right into this, man, because I know it's a little late on your end. So it's like
Oh
8 o'clock
yeah,
over there where you at. Yeah,
about
yeah.
eight
So we get
forty.
in this, man. We're gonna talk. Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna go into the flood. Is it a historical event, or was somebody tweaking when they wrote that story, man? But anyway, man, I'm gonna go to statistics real quick. I found this very interesting, man, because
Uh
America's
huh.
supposed to be a so-called Christian nation,
Yeah, yeah.
but they had a poll, I think, a ABC poll. It said 61% of Americans believe in a literal biblical flood. 87% of evangelicals, 73% of Protestants, and 44% of Catholics believe in a literal flood. Now, I find it interesting that Catholics, less than half of them believe in. This is according to ABC poll, and I guess what they say is they don't really tell anyone what to believe when it comes to the Bible, as far as whether it's um, literal or not. So I just found that very interesting. Um, and also, before we get into this, man, I was looking up some. I'm gonna share this real quick, and I'll let you go in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Um, 'Cause I got a Quran, and they kind of tell the story too, and because it goes into it gives a little extra information in there. I'm gonna just read a little bit of the Quran real quick as to what they said about the flood. From This is from Surah 11. It said,
Mm-hmm.
"We sent Noah to his people with a mission. I have come to you with a clear warning." And it says, "We sent Noah." I don't know who that we is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It says, "But the chief of the unbelievers among his people said, 'We see in you nothing but a man like ourselves. In fact, we think you are liars.'" It said, "They said, 'Oh Noah, you have disputed with us, and much have you prolonged the dispute with us. Now bring upon us what you threaten us with it if you speak the truth.' It was revealed to Noah, none of your people will believe except those who have believed already. So grieve no longer over their evil deeds, but construct an ark under our eyes and our inspiration, and address me no further, for they are about to be overwhelmed with the flood." And see, it keeps talking about we. So it's like multiple people sending Noah and giving him a message. That's what I understand. It said, "Forthwith he starts constructing an ark. Every time that the chiefs of his people passed by him, they threw ridicule on him. At length, behold, there came our command, and the fountains of the earth gushed forth. We said, embark therein of each kind, two, male and female, and your family. But only a few believed with him. So the ark floated with them on the waves, towering like the mountains. And Noah called out to his son, who had separated himself from the rest, 'O my son, embark with us, and be not with the unbelievers.' The son replied, 'I will betake myself to some mountain. It will save me from the water.' And the water abated, and the matter was ended. The ark rested on Mount Judai, and the word went forth, 'Away with those who do wrong.' And Noah called upon his Lord and said, 'O my Lord, surely my son is of my family.' He said, 'O Noah, he is not of your family, for his conduct is unrighteous.'" All right. So I just thought that very interesting that according to Quran, even some of Noah's family didn't even walk into the ark. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot
I
of
think that.
different extra biblical things on the flood. A lot of extra biblical information that talks about the flood, and they give different accounts of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we're just going to go in there, and what I'm going to be the devil's advocate tonight. I'm going to present the Christian defense of the flood, and pretty much um, Melvin's going to go into how it does not stand to logic and modern scientific scholarship. All right.
This is gonna
So
be
you ready to go
fun in
into this,
here.
Melvin? I'll let you go into more also what you looked at. I know you dug up some stuff too. But before we start, what you want to add in some?
I'm gonna go ahead and cause I'm gonna go ahead and add this right in there. You said my name's not Melvin, so you already messed up as it
Oh
is.
yeah, oh yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Marvin. My
you
bad, man.
already messed up as it is.
Yeah,
This the
yeah,
video. This video
but
is over with.
yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, everybody, it's a wrap, man. We see y'all later. Yeah, Marvin, my
He
bad.
already jump in wrong, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, anyway,
yeah,
man. So
yeah.
yeah, Marvin, you want to add something else into that,
I,
man?
I'm just going to just I got just got to jump into it real quick. But uh, I would say that this was one of the things that the very first um thing that really woke me up, so to say. And I hate to use the term woke, but I mean the first thing that kind of made me question things a little bit. I hate the terminology woke, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, I'm very intrigued to have this conversation. You know what I'm saying, just to see how well I'm able to, you know, really try to bring this whole situation to our reality. You know what I'm saying, and really try to get to understand the real meaning behind this story, because aside from your beliefs, now let me say this, I always say this before I engage in any type of topic such as this: the things in which I present does not have to be your truth. If you believe that two of every kind of animals at one time was on a big boat, that is your right to believe that. Okay, I'm not here to try to tell you that it's wrong, nothing like that. This is just me. Okay, okay, this is it. All right, this is just my understanding, but it doesn't have to be necessarily your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, let's get that all out the way. So I don't want nobody in their feelings being like, "Oh, who is he to tell me that my beliefs is false?" No, I'm not doing that, because I mean we all grew up in something like that. You know what I'm saying? With people trying to force their beliefs on others. You know what I'm saying? So this is my not my intent. But however, I
Mhm.
will say this though, and let me go ahead and speak. When it comes to the flood, I do not think that there was ever uh, a literary flood. There has been many floods around the course of history, but people write stories based on what they have seen or what they have witnessed. But there is a deeper meaning behind it, something that in which you can apply through your whole entire life. But yet and still, we have these religions, these man-made religions, that want to sit up there and they want to blow this whole entire thing out of proportion, or take this and try to weaponize it and basically use it to cause you to have fear so that you can abide by their rules. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you,
Mhm.
Manji, go ahead, and I just had to just throw myself on out there,
All right. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah, exactly. And whatever you believe, man, that's what you believe. Nobody's gonna vilify you. I mean, the thing where beliefs gets me is if your belief causes you to look down on me as a person, or condemn me as a person without getting to know me, or you're trying to force your belief on me, anything, believe anything you want to, man. Believe that the clouds is the doggone God. Believe anything you want to. So this is not the point of trying to downgrade anybody, but we want to kind of go into is the biblical flood, a historical event. And I'm gonna look at some of these comments real quick. How you doing, Penny B? Yeah, I haven't seen Penny B in a while. We did a video about a while back. Going Cookie with Curly, what's going on?
Man, Nails is
One
throwing out some
Nails.
bombs, man. Whoever this is throwing out some bombs, man, already.
Who?
Just hold your horses. My
Oh yeah,
goodness.
who's that? You One Nails? Oh yeah,
Just
One Nails. Yeah, yeah. Said.
throwing out bombs already.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They ready, man. So One Nail said, I think the
Chill,
ark is symbolic for the ark of the covenant.
chill,
Those animals.
chill.
Yeah, the animals are actually certain nations. Interesting. All right, and says
That's
she said
it.
outside the law it's death. Hence, those who didn't get on the ark died. This is why you can see that the Nephilim were there before and after the flood. Interesting, interesting. All right,
Hmm.
so let's get into this right now, man. So before I start, man, so Marvin, I want to get that right. My bad. You know I know your name, right? I got the
Yeah,
thing on there. I got the name right there. Okay, so Marvin,
yeah. What's good?
is there no evidence for a global flood as the Bible or the Quran or Josephus or the Gilgamesh? There's no evidence for that. You think?
I mean, you're gonna see things. You're gonna see some various stories around the way. Like there are so many flood stories in just Noah's. You got the Epic of Sudra, which is dated, I think at around 2900 BCE. What's the
Hmm.
date for Noah's flood that they give? What's the date? Is it? I think Watchtower said what 2500 or something like that, because the Epic of
Yeah, I'm not
Gilgamesh
even
came.
sure.
Okay, well, the oldest one, which is the date, is the Epic of Sudra, and you have the same concepts. You have basically a god or a divine being coming down and basically instructing a human to build a boat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But in order to take it to science, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're asking, right? You know what the
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
is
yeah,
or why it did not occur. Well, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
for one, you could think about the fossil record. You know, why the ordered fossil layer of plant and animals? Like, you know,
Mm.
why do you see different levels of fossil? Like, don't you think they should be like grouped together or something like that? You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah,
you
the
look
strata.
at
You talking about the
the
strata?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. You see that? Then also too, you know, you got to think like, where did all the water come from? Now, some people do
Mm.
say there was a what you call it, something in there was a terminology for something that's in the atmosphere. I can't think of what it was. Um, a water canopy or something like
Hmm.
that. Yeah,
Above the earth. Yeah.
yes, yeah, I know you heard of that. You know, people try to say that, but then also too, we have the main thing is the ancient Egyptians. They were keeping records during that time, and that you don't see that there's no break in the king's list at Abydos. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? The king list of Abydos goes back, and there's no break in it. So
Mm.
you see, and then also too, one more thing going back to Kemet, the Georgia Step Pyramid was being built around that
Hmm.
time that many people give the date for the flood. So you got to sit there and wait and pause, put all that stuff out to the side and think like, how in the world are they building a pyramid when the world's supposed to be up underwater?
Hmm.
And this is the
Interesting.
this is the step pyramid of Georgia, constructed
Yeah.
for
Yeah, yeah.
Khufu. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. All right. So
I got more,
speaking
but I'll
up.
let you go ahead.
Okay. So when you talked about the fossils, now
Hmm.
what about what about the fossilized mammal animals that's on top of mountain ranges? What do you say to that?
What type of animals?
There's marine fossils on the top of the Himalayas. They have like certain marine fossilized marine animals and seashells on top of the Himalayas and things like that. The mountain.
So I would say like, what's the we are okay. We already know that at one time when the sea levels like okay like we had the ice age, so to say.
Hmm.
You know, we already know that there was a documented time when there was more when the Earth was frozen.
Hmm.
So at that time, obviously, when you had the ice started melt, the climate started changing. So automatically, yeah, you're gonna probably gonna have some animals that's up there. You know what I'm saying? You probably gonna have that. But also too, I mean, we got to think about this. Um, Floods have been going around for a long time, for a long period of time, and so
Hmm.
then it's kind of like when you have a what was I about to say? When you have a flood that occurs in a certain area, then people are automatically going to start writing about it or making stories about it back in ancient times. You know,
Hmm.
because you didn't travel like that. If you see a
Hmm.
flood, like who in the world went around? Who can really say that the whole entire world was surrounded by water when you don't have no type of travel or intercontinental
Hmm.
travel back then? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
automatically, the places that you went to, if you see that there's a place that's flooded, then yeah, you're automatically going to assume that yeah, okay, this whole entire world was underwater.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. But
Hope that answered your
okay. But like
question.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I know that that's one of the things that a lot of you know Christians what do you call that Christian
Apologists,
creationists.
creationists.
Yeah, yeah, apologists and creationists will use is that they are, and you can look on it, you can look internet and see like different fossils that they brung back to top of him. But here's the thing, okay? As you said, some of the land was underwater, and that's true. Um, the land mass that became the Himalayas today was once underwater, right? It was
Yep.
underwater millions of years ago, all right. But
Hmm.
eventually, the Indian continent crashed into Asia, and it pushed that mountain up. It pushed that range up into a mountain. So this is what happens a lot of times. This is what makes mountains is when land masses crash each other, they push it up. All right. So the land mass again. Let me repeat this again. The land mass that's the Himalayas now was once under the sea. All right. The Teddy Sea under the sea for millions of years. So at that time, a lot of animals were dying, things like that, and so fossilized under the water. Once the Indian Ocean crashed into India crashed into Asia, that's when it raised up into the Himalayas mountains. All right. Also, a lot of the land we see today was once underwater. Even Texas used to be submerged under the sea. So that's how you get the fossils on top of the mountains. They were once underwater. All right. It's not a evidence of a global flood. It's just evidence that that land was once underwater.
And see, like I
And
said before, oh, go ahead.
huh?
No, I
How
was
long was
saying,
the
see,
flood supposed? Now, how long was the flood supposed to take place anyway?
they said 40 days and 40 nights. But there's a thing though, man. If you go into Genesis chapter 7, verse 24, it says that the flood lasts for 150 days, and then you go
Mm-hmm.
to Genesis 8:5, it says it lasts for 10 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are different. I think those are different levels. That one how long it rain, then when it stopped, and
Yeah.
then when it start to go down. So it's like kind of yeah, it is kind of confusing. But yeah, I think it's when describing the time that it took for the water to subside and finally
Mm-hmm.
when it cleared up. Yeah. So I mean that's just one thing I would look at when they talk about the sea things on top of the mountain. Yeah, you have it up there if that was under the water. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's no evidence that the waters were covered and animals swam up there for a year, and eventually they the water went down in a year, and they end up dying up there. Like I mean, fish gonna get caught on the mountain that fast. You know what I'm saying?
well, I mean, and you see, that's the thing, man. Because me personally, like, I've heard that argument before, like a lot of times, and so that yes, we both had different answers for that. But I will say this: that I never once thought to use the whole thing about continental shift. Because, I mean, this is stuff that we study in school. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
When we was in, I don't know about you, but I kind of struggle a little bit in school with the whole, with trying to, in science class, and when we start studying about Pangea and continental drifts, like it was kind of hard to put that and the
Mm-hmm.
Bible together. I don't know about
Yeah. Yeah.
anybody else, but it's kind
Yeah.
of tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
It
one
is.
reason why I asked you. I said, what kind of animals were there? Because how those what kind of animals were there? Because we already know that. I don't know how many people subscribe to evolution, but I mean, the thing is like what type of animal? Because there's been different types of species of animals throughout
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
Earth's course of history.
Yeah, yeah. No, they actually found seashells, and they have seashells up there, and then there's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like some type of a fish, ancient fish that they seen fossilized.
So ancient fish is it
Um,
still around?
yeah.
Is a fish?
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Yeah, but if it's fossilized, good chance it's not. You know, if it's fossilized.
Yeah,
um,
yeah. I thought you had some
yeah,
cousins around.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But no, even in the Bible, when I was reading it, is a part in Genesis says during the days of Peleg, the earth was divided.
Uh-huh.
The Watchtower talks about that's talking about the people, but I mean, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You can't. A lot of stuff it takes a while for the Earth to do because Earth is moving. You know, the Earth moves slowly. You know what I'm saying? And if we go according to the Bible or Bible chronology, it's moving too fast for all the stuff to take place. All right. So here's the next one. What do you say about there being a flood myth in almost every culture on the Earth? How do you? I think you answered that already, but
Yeah, you can ask it again though. So
yeah.
what did I say? But I would say that this is the kicker, man. When people, because I've been asked this question before, like there's many flood myths around the whole entire Earth. Okay, so what are people actually saying? Was the Earth covered in a whole bunch of water? How
Mm-hmm,
were those people able to write about this one event when Noah and his family were the only ones that's supposed to survive?
mm-hmm,
So I mean, it's like, okay, you're at the door of understanding what's going on, but yet still you still want to uphold the story within this one book. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? Like you have these other
mm-hmm.
people, they write stories about them. Even the Chinese have a freaking flood story.
Yeah.
Even in that area. But here it is. You want to still uphold the one story in this book. This I'm not understanding. You still
Mm-hmm,
want to uphold this story, but yet still you know. Even Watchtower has even written about. They acknowledge that there's other flood stories, but they still want to
mm-hmm.
uphold the one that's in the Bible. I'm pretty sure. I think it was
Yeah.
in the Insight book, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The Insight book, it references a little bit about other flood stories, but they don't give credit to the one
In the
Noah
Bible.
story. Yeah, yeah. And so that
Yeah. Yeah.
this is one when I saw this, when I read the Insight book and I saw it in there, I'm like, why do they just go ahead and say that this is um that based on this information that there could not have been a literal flood, or that the whole mess moral of the story is awareness, so to say.
Hmm.
So knowing that there's different stories from different areas, because if Noah
Yeah.
and his family survived the flood just by themselves, then what happened to these other people? Why are other people writing stories about a flood
Yeah.
that is supposed to cover the whole entire earth? These are questions that you have to ask yourself.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
Yeah.
and just like you said, there's floods all over the place. And a lot of people is going to tell, when you have floods and things that wipes out different civilizations, what I'm saying, wipes out different places where people are civilized. Yeah, they're going to tell their grandchildren and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
So
it
so
could.
so let's so oh, but yeah, go ahead and ask me next question. I'm about to run ahead.
Mm. Oh no, no, I think you went over it. I'm just like, just these
Yeah.
are some of the things that creationists use as to why there could have been a global flood. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just different things, and I try to look at it from, because I used to believe the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to see, how
Hmm.
could it really be uh support of a global flood where everything was wiped out with water? Or could it just be certain things that happened that we can kind of coincide and say this can be used to support the flood, or it could have been something else that happened a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
If you look at the area of where Noah was, then it's already been proven that that area is more susceptible to flooding anyway.
Mhm.
The way that it's situated, because it's near a body of water as it is. But
Mhm.
aside from all that, and I really don't get, and I think I always look at things from a scientific standpoint. I necessarily I not approach these things with sort of like spirituality in view. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
needed to correlate this with my reality. So let's run through it real quick. So Noah, let's start here. Noah got two of what? Two of every kind of animals of
Mhm.
all the whole entire earth, right?
Mhm.
So my question is this: um, all those animals you've got to feed.
Mhm.
How was he able to feed all those animals?
Hmm.
Now, some people say sometimes you have to step outside the box a little bit. Say, well, he gave them manna. I've heard that before. Some people say he gave them some manna from heaven. But I mean, I've
Okay.
never read where he did that. But what you
Yeah.
think about that? Like, how did they have the manpower to feed all those animals?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm wondering. Well, I mean, some of them could have been hibernating.
You
You could take
trying?
and say some of them hibernate.
You
Some of them
trying?
hibernated. Um, yeah, but it's kind of hard to really put that together as to how knowing them would bring in all the materials necessary to feed all these animals. I mean, because some of them are actually carnivores.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm
you
saying?
got a
Some of them
doggone,
carnivores.
yeah, and you got a doggone lion and a hungry hippo, and you
Yeah,
got gators, got alligators, and just, and also too,
yeah.
think about this, because we can stay on the subject for the animals for a little bit. Australia, the penguins. How
Hmm.
in the world did he go over there and get? How did How did the now Australia? I said Australia penguins. My bad. Kangaroos. Goodness gracious. I said Australia the penguins. Good
Yeah, yeah.
lord, man. It's getting late. The kangaroos from Australia.
Uh-huh.
How did they get over there? How did they get all the way over there to where were they at? In Mesopotamia? Around that
Hmm.
area?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did the kangaroos get from Australia to doggone Mesopotamia? Also to North America. They used to have lions over here. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? In North America, and the
Hmm.
animals that are indigenous to this land. How did they get over there?
Yeah. Well, okay. You think that sometime I'll say this. Um, you think that sometime we're putting too much emphasis on a date set by a bishop? Because who puts the date on the Bible? The Bible didn't put no dates in there. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
Bible just talks about the first year of the king. It doesn't like
Yeah.
we go by, 2200 BC or
Mm-hmm.
BCE. We put those. The Bible doesn't put that. You think
Yeah.
we're putting too much emphasis on a date set by someone who wasn't there? I think who set the Bible? Who actually sat down and calculated the days? Was it or Bishop User? Who was
Yeah.
that guy? Bishop Uzi. I can't even pronounce his name.
It was Bishop. I know who you're talking about. Um, but yeah, I remember he said that God created. Yeah, Bishop James Usher,
Okay,
60.
Bishop
Yeah,
Usher.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. Start with
This guy,
yeah.
yeah, Archbishop James Usher. He said that in 1630 the world was created by God in
Mhm.
404 BCE at 9 o'clock
Okay.
in the morning.
Damn, he went to the date. He went to the time. Okay, you, so you
Yeah.
you think we're putting too much emphasis on this guy's chronology when the Bible doesn't give a date? Because what if what if the stuff took place 100,000 years ago, and we're looking at this bishop saying something took place 6,000 years ago? What if he got that wrong and Adam and Eve was created 100,000 years ago? The Bible just doesn't say that. You know what I'm saying? What if we're doing that? What if we're doing that?
I
Could
would
it be
say
possibly could it be possibly that the Bible is we're just putting the Bible in one date based on this man's thing and not based on the fact that maybe because even evolution says everything came from a common ancestor. So
uh-huh.
could it be possible that say I'm just being hypothetical.
No, you're
Could it be
good. Everything
possible
good.
that
Keep
the
going.
kangaroo was not the kangaroo today, but a common ancestor that got on there, and all the when they got off the ark, all the kangaroos that descended from that came from that common ancestor. Could that be possible?
It could be, but it just doesn't really make sense because it's kind of like okay, people are still trying to make sense of this, and to me, it kind of opens a way up for more questioning of this
Hmm.
text because to me, I feel as though like if this is supposed to be God's word, so to say, then it's like then God's really done a poor job
Hmm.
of really getting us to really understand that is this his text. Like we need to know dates. We need to know that these things actually occur. You know,
Hmm.
yeah. Because if you something without no dates, how do we know that? So you can't really say that it really occurred because here it is. The Bible doesn't just go there; it goes into a lot more history when it comes to dealing with humans and everything like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and just like you said, I think cooking with Curly says it's hard to fathom keeping them animals alive. Yeah, exactly. For a whole year, you on that whole arc for a whole year, keeping them doggone animals alive. And also,
Aside from that, I didn't mean to cut you off. But aside from that, doggone it, man. That's a lot of doo doo and feces to clean up. You got methane.
mm-hmm.
You can't be around.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't be
yeah.
surrounded around all that.
Yeah. Well, but the arc did have windows, so it's nothing to throw it out the
They had
window.
one
You know what
window.
I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. No, it says the arc had windows though in there, so it's easy to throw it off. But
I
well,
think that's
but
what I heard.
yeah.
Fact check me,
Okay, but
please. Fact check me
yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
Okay, so even going away from the animals, the humans, how long can we survive without water?
I think it's like I want to say 3 days. I believe it. I think I
Yeah,
could
3 days,
correct. Yeah, three
maximum a
days.
week.
Yeah.
Where did Noah and his family get water from?
Well, they could have got the water that's outside in the ocean. You look at me. I'm
Oh yeah,
challenging you now.
yeah.
I'm challenging you now. Okay. I'm challenging you. They could
Yeah,
have got
okay.
it
Okay, that's
outside the
good. That's
ocean. So
good. That's good. That's good.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we answered that because I always wondered that. So okay, that's it. So somebody actually
But that salt
leaned
water
out.
though.
Somebody actually leaned out the doggone ark to get water,
Hmm. But that
and
water
they
that would be
heated it up.
salt water
Yeah,
though.
yeah, salt water. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
dehydrates
actually
you
heated
too.
it up. Man, because okay, so yeah, so they was in it for a year and a half or a year.
Yeah, 304
They
days
didn't
surrounded with water.
obviously they didn't take water on there because you can't take water. You can't keep water sterile. You can't keep it stagnant. And God, I don't think God told Noah how long he'd be in that ark. so they would not have prepared to take that much water on there.
Mm-hmm.
So where would they have gotten the water from? You said they would have went. Hey, Candace, how you doing? I ain't seen Candace in years.
Man, I
All right,
haven't seen.
so
I thought she went back to the Kingdom Hall. I ain't seen her in a
no, I
long
thought
time.
I thought she I thought she moved on. I didn't think she's
you
still
know,
watching
you,
this kind of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, but where did he get where did he get the water from, bro?
it's about the water. I don't know, man. I mean, you
You
can.
think
I mean,
you
you can
okay?
rejuvenize salt. I mean, salt water. But I mean, back then, I mean, think about it. Your whole entire day. That's just like a full freaking day. I mean, you not,
Mm-hmm.
there's not even enough hours in the day to complete a task of feeding all those animals
Exactly.
on the
Mm-hmm.
ark. And
Yeah.
also to caring for the family's needs. Now, also too, some people can say, well, while the time that God's warned him, but building the ark, that's what he did. But you open
Mm-hmm.
yourself up to so much more questioning. We're missing
Yeah.
the key point here. The question that we're not asking is this, and I hope I'm not running ahead. What
Mm-hmm.
is the main thing that Watchtower used on us as a model to follow for the coming days?
For the coming day, I think what are you talking about? It's gonna be like the days of Noah.
The days of Noah, what did Noah have to do? Aside from building his ark, he had to go out
He
and he
was
had
a
to
he was a
warn.
preacher of righteousness. He was a preacher
He
of
had to go
righteousness.
preach. So my
Yeah.
question to you is this: did Noah have a laptop? Did Noah did they have a freaking news TVs back then? Did they have news channels? How in the world was he able to tell the people over here in North America, tell the Indians in North America, there's going to be a coming flood? So that opens the way up to a lot more questioning because here it is,
Mm-hmm.
God
Yeah.
instructed him to basically warn all the people.
Mm-hmm.
There's not just people in Mesopotamia around that time. There's people all over the world
Yeah. So what if okay,
still.
so what if the all the continents were together? What about that?
Uh, I don't think you could say that because the oldest humans weren't even around when the continents were together.
mm, got him. There you go. Yeah, it went around.
Yeah, humans don't even do that. I've had that question before. They don't even do that. Humans were not even
Yeah.
around yet.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just asking you this because this is what Christians ask, man. This is
I
stuff
know.
they ask, man.
Look,
So I'm just throwing,
let me say
I'm just
this.
trying to.
Let me say this, and I know that I'm not really the most skilled when it comes to like I don't know. I don't say I'm the most skilled person when it comes to debate, but debating online is how I kind of learned a lot more.
hmm
And some people say there's two things you're not supposed to talk about: it's politics and religion. But I say that look, you could talk about them, just don't get emotional about it. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because how else
Yeah,
you going to learn
exactly,
but to challenge yourself? You know,
exactly.
one of
hmm
the things that a person has to learn, and I mean, this is still my little XJW story. We're just trying to get to a little bit least stuff, but I can't. This is part of it. But one of the things that a person has to learn is that when they come out of Watchtower, you have some things you have to deal with, a lot of stuff,
hmm
and one of them
Yeah.
is, that question that they always ask you. Well, brother, if you leave Jehovah's organization, what else is there? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna
Where
go
you
to?
gonna go?
Yeah, so then it's
Yeah, where you
like,
gonna go?
okay, what you gonna do? You're gonna get these questions answered. So when you come out of
hmm
it, so you go and handle
Exactly.
your business, you go ahead and move, do what you need to do, and then still you have
hmm
questions. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to figure out what your religious
Yeah.
or spiritual path's gonna be. Question the
hmm
book. Try to figure out some truthfulness. Try to make understanding of this stuff. But what
Yeah.
you're going to
Exactly. Yeah.
encounter is you're going to encounter a lot of people that have left Watchtower. Some of them still have that elder mentality. Some of them still
hmm
want everybody to believe in the Bible. People really
Yeah.
do try to govern your beliefs still,
Yeah.
even after
Exactly.
leaving. And so then it's
Yeah.
like this: like people have to try to expand their knowledge and still question all things. Question it.
hmm
Question other
Yeah.
people.
hmm Yeah. And also, I mean, the more we progress on this earth, the more humans gain more scholarship. The more we can dig and learn things. See, they didn't have the scholarship we have back in the day. All they
Yeah,
could
they.
understand
Yeah.
back in ancient times, they could understand things through what they understood. I don't know if they
Yeah.
had archaeology back in Noah's day or Moses' day. So they can only go by what was told them by their parents.
Well, yeah, and
You,
also too, let me add this too. Really, and I'm not going to get too far off topic, but in reality, they were not they were in ancient times keeping a record of a lot of things, but the problem was that they stored everything in one particular place, like the Library of Alexandria. They got
hmm
burned down.
hmm
We are really in a time where we're really like lost in a sense because
hmm
a lot of that history, a lot of that knowledge was stored
hmm
there. And I don't want to get too far off topic again, but that's where it was keeping a lot of the knowledge at. But once it got
hmm
burned, all of that was lost. So a lot of
Yeah,
stuff we don't even know about still.
yeah, yeah. Candace said, "Why want the fish killed?" And this is the thing too, also because the flood came. The flood came because supposedly the sins of humans. What they got to do with
Mm-hmm.
animals? Like, if it was about cleansing the earth, why did God just choose land animals? He didn't kill the roaches or the termites, anything else. He didn't kill the spiders. He
Bed
just killed land
bugs,
animals. Yeah.
bed
So
bugs.
yeah, why did the sins of humans affect animals? Like he couldn't just create a bubble like SpongeBob or the squirrel in SpongeBob. She lived
Yeah,
under the water,
yeah,
but she got like a bubble.
yeah,
So why God couldn't do that? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Cooking Curly said, I forgot the Bible said there was a door. It was sealed shut. Yeah, it was sealed shut, but still
So
water
so
can come
so
in.
yeah. So
Water can
okay.
come
So
in.
you want to talk about water, but I mean, how did the ark stay afloat for all that time? You know what I'm saying?
hmm
The wood would have got would have started leaking. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
because
they
the
they
ark.
covered. Well, then they covered with some type of tar or bitumen.
Nah, I didn't know nothing about that. I just know
Yeah,
the
they
ark was
covered.
made of wood. They covered it with that. Let's see,
Yeah, they covered with
that's new to me.
yeah, they covered with bitumen or tar or something. They covered it with that. But the door was as Cooking with Curly said, the door was not covered. It
Mm-hmm.
said God closed the door. But yeah, he actually covered with tar or bitumen. Yeah, they covered it with
So
tar or
they were sealed
bitumen.
shut. Let's rewind this. So they were sealed shut. How many windows were there? It was just yeah. How many windows did they have on there? But it was
Let
sealed shut.
let me
Yeah,
hold on. Let me
yeah,
hold
yeah.
on. Let me see.
Go look and see.
I got the Bible with me. Let me
Go
read it,
look
man.
and
Hold
see
on for a minute.
how many windows was on that thing.
Yeah, cause I ain't read it in a while, man. I ain't read the Bible in a
Oh,
while.
shame on you.
So yeah, shame on me, man. Shame on me. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. I got it with me right here. Let me see. Let me see. It said the door. Okay, so 16, Genesis 6:16. Make a roof for the ark. Make it lower and third. Hold on for a minute. I don't say nothing. I don't know. It said make. It did say make a window.
Uh huh.
I can't even find it, man. But it's Genesis 6. It said he's supposed to make a window and a door. He might have made one window, but I mean, even still, you have to have ventilation. Just like you said, you have to have ventilation. You can't sit there and not have ventilation. You need
So
sunlight to come in. You know what
uh
I'm
huh.
saying?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure one.
So on that one window, it was supposed to air out all that doggone feces. So that one window, and it's hot,
yeah,
and it's gonna get. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get hot too. So you got how
yeah,
many
yeah.
animals? How many species of animals were there?
Oh, there's a lot. There are a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of species of animals. Yeah, there are a lot. You think Noah had to really take all the species on there,
Um, yeah.
or
I
could
mean,
he, just like I said, could he take a common ancestor
hmm
of all the animals? Like, I mean, just like today, the domesticated dog, right?
yeah.
Could he have just took the wolf on there and all the dogs came from the wolf? How long ago did the domesticated dog come from the wolf?
It's been some years, man. That's a little bit. I can't really give you the actual date, but I mean, it's been dogs have been evolving for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I mean, pretty much all the domesticated dogs came from the wolf, right? So
yeah.
he didn't have to. So we could eliminate all the dogs. We didn't have to take dogs. We could just take a wolf on there. Okay.
Mhm.
So what I'm doing, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I
No,
don't.
you're
Me
good.
personally, yeah, me personally, I don't believe in a global flood. I do believe a flood wiped out um area of the Mediterranean a long time ago.
Uh huh.
The Black Sea. I do believe in that. I don't believe in the global flood, but I'm just, if there are witnesses that actually watch this, there are some creation that actually watch this. I used to watch. You ever heard of Ken Hovind?
No, I don't believe I have.
Okay, he debates a lot of evolutionists, and he goes into the flood and why he's supposed to be like a scientist or something like that. And I think Ham, it's another guy, Ham, somebody named Ham.
Oh, I know you're talking
But
about Kim I know you're talking about that guy. He debated somebody that Aaron Ra. You ever heard of him before?
no, I never heard of him.
Oh, he's like one of the big time atheists, but they debate him because the Ham guy has a Noah's Ark museum
Hmm.
that he has, and it's basically like it's a huge museum that's the
Yeah,
size that's supposed to be the actual size of the ark. He's got
yeah.
dinosaurs in there. He's got
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's got everything such as that. And he's supposed
Mm,
to be giving the explanation. So then when the place first, they was out there having a big, huge debate about it.
mm. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So what I'm going through is that if a Jehovah's Witness did watch this, and I'm trying to put it in mind as if a Joe did watch this and they have these questions, because Joe Witness
Hmm.
watch certain apostate videos. I know Joe Witness watch apostate videos.
Yeah,
When apostates say something, they might automatically goes to the talking points or the reasoning points that the watchdog put out there. I'm trying to bust all that up. So I'm trying to bring it out to you so we could bust this up. So
I got you.
could they have taken up a wolf? What if they just took a wolf on the ark? That would eliminate the all the species of the dog, because the dogs came from the wolf,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the
So yes,
bear.
you would still have one. You would just have to me. I just feel as though like you have just one particular species of wolf. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's
Hmm.
just how I look at it.
Hmm.
This
Okay.
is how you actually start to think. But then until you have to
Yeah.
bring it to reality, you have to start researching, like find out, okay, when did dogs start evolving, or when did
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
species different species of dogs, what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
when did the Yorkie poo come on the scene, or when did the
Hmm.
Doberman,
Hmm.
they don't just
Yeah.
appear just like that. It takes years for
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it takes years
Yeah.
for for different breeds of animals to
Yeah.
show up.
Takes a while. Exactly. Takes a while. Okay. Um, Let me bring up another point though, because this was interesting too. The dimensions of the arc. I was reading what was this? Smithsonian. Somewhere it's a thing where they had some physicists. They looked at the dimensions of the arc. Right. Let me
Uh-huh.
read what they said. It said to float, a boat has to exert the same amount of force on the ocean as the weight of the water it displaces. To put it another way, an object with a density greater than the water will sink. That's obvious. I mean, if something heavy is going to sink, right?
Yeah.
So the arc would have been 144.6 meters long, 24.1 meters long. Since we're from America, we don't look at meters. We look at inches and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these
yeah.
meters going to be off. But anyway, 14.46 meters tall. The size of a very small cargo ship. Using the density of Cyprus, they calculated the weight of this hypothetical ark, 1,200,000 kilograms. By comparison, the Titanic rated 53 million kilograms. Based on the density of seawater, they figured out that an empty box shaped ark would float with its hull only dipping 0.34 meters into the water. So physicists say that the ark could have actually floated above the water.
Hmm.
Does that still prove that there was a global flood?
No, it's just still a boat. I
Yeah,
mean,
just a boat.
it's just a boat. I
Exactly,
mean,
it's
come on,
just a boat.
it's a boat. So,
Yeah,
so I
cause
mean,
okay, cause wasn't they making boats in those days? Weren't they making boats in those days?
yes, most definitely. Matter of fact,
Exactly.
yeah. Matter of fact, if somebody wants to say that there was if there was no a boat of Noah, there's been there's been many boats that have been dug up, so to say,
Hmm.
and what I'm gonna say is like this, like one of the oldest ones was called the New Ankh, and I think it was by I think it was Khufu's boat built
Hmm.
alongside his pyramid, and so
Yeah.
that boat is still around today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can still find it. You can still have remains of it. Have I showed you
Yeah.
that boat before?
No, you haven't shown me that.
Give me one
No, I
second.
never
Let
seen
me
that.
pull it. Yeah, it's still around today. What you
Shit.
laughing at?
No, I'm
You gonna
saying
hear what's going
Candace
on.
wrote
I think
something.
we.
She was like stuttering. She was stuttering something. I don't know. If I don't know what she was stuttering.
She said, if so, not true. Was I stuttering just now?
No, no, no. I guess she was like somebody trying to defend it, but like if.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why you look up that though? So
Go ahead.
even though the arc, okay, because the dimensions of arc, I mean, they use the same dimensions today when they make ships. You have to make it a certain dimension, so when it's teetering on the wave, it doesn't capsize. Even still,
Mm,
that does not prove that the whole Earth was flooded and 8 people survived, and every person on Earth today descended from those 8 people. Um, you know what I'm saying? Especially in that short amount of time. That happened what 4,000 years ago. How could every human on
mm,
Earth today, all the races and things like that, descend from 3 people 4,000 years ago? How could every
yeah.
species of animals
Hey,
today come 4,000 years?
hey, Jumanji. I shared this right here.
All right.
Tell
Oh, okay.
tell
Let me
me
see.
tell me tell me what does that look like when you see those pictures when people are doing little cartoons and representing stuff?
What does that look like? That looks like, I don't know. Look, yeah, look. What does it look like? I don't know. What does it look like?
When you be seeing the little cartoons of Noah's Ark and stuff like that,
Uh huh.
doesn't
Oh,
that
okay.
look
Oh, okay.
sort of
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 It looks like
the,
the drawing. Yeah.
yeah, this is Khufu's new Ankh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is
So yeah, they was
so-called
making stuff like that all the
solar
time.
boat. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this is yeah. You go look at this today. This boat was built in 2500 BC. They found it. They dug it up 2500 BC. You can go look at this place right now. Probably not. Well, it may be open because of COVID. What
Hmm.
you laughing at? What?
No, I'm not. I'm just reading the comments. Candace said, "Yeah, a lot of people can defend him from 8 people." Okay, but
Yeah, we gonna get into that.
we get
Yeah, just a simple
it.
search,
Yeah,
man. It says
yeah.
then nah, go ahead.
Mm. No, no, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says the new Ankh, the new Kepler Ankh, or transforming your life form into the waters of new, is the first work of history that teaches you how to manifest any reality you desire. Simple. Okay, that's talking about the book. Let's
Okay.
where's that? Because I had a good website. Um, hold on. I hate to use Wikipedia, but I'm just going to just go quick. So you're not supposed
Hmm.
to use Wikipedia as a source. I know, I understand that you're not supposed to, but sometimes
Yeah.
when you go into the bibliography, that's where you find truth. But I mean, it is what it
Yeah.
is. You
Yeah.
can look it up and you'll still
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's
But
all. Yeah. We
that's
got
not
you.
it. That's not all. Yeah. Anyway, I want to spend time on this, but this is one of the things that the new Ankh was built in around 2000 BCE, and basically, what's been said is, okay, here it is, Khufu ship right here. Hey Willow, go back inside. Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick. Khufu ship, an intact, full-size vessel from ancient Egypt, and that it was sealed into a pit in the Giza pyramid complex at the foot of the Great Pyramid of Giza around 2500 BC. The ship is now preserved as Giza's Solar Boat Museum. The ship was built for Khufu. That's that's who built it. So um, the reason why they say that this is that they kind of copy this right here is because it just to me it just seems as though like it looks exactly like the representation or the how the ark is described look when you see it in pictures and everything like that, because you see how that looks right there. So let's look at how does Noah's ark look. It's just little clues
Mm.
here and there, Jumanji, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
See, I kind of rises up a little bit. Some people might say, "Nah, it doesn't look like that," but to me, it kind of looks a little bit like that, you know.
Uh huh.
And all
Yeah,
these are here kind of wrong because I don't see they got more windows at one. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, but hold on a second, man. Just look at these pictures, man. Look at this picture. Okay, you got a freaking you got two elephants right in there. You got some giraffes right in there, and then you got lions. You got a whole bunch of different animals in there and stuff like that. Like, I just do not believe you have 2.5 almost billion species in that boat.
Mm.
Yeah, but you can keep going, man.
Yeah,
I just had to make that
yeah,
point.
yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, yeah. Uh huh. Yeah, yeah, exactly. There were Bible says that there were three stories on the ark, so there was a lower deck also. Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of it. And this is from a book, or because the Bible. And a lot of people today they forget that the Bible is not one book. The Bible is a collection of 66 different scrolls. Um, when they told that story, how long have we been writing since humans been on Earth? How long have we been writing? When did writing first take place?
Let's see. See, I know you was gonna ask this, so I need to go to my notes. Okay.
Yeah,
Since
well,
you want to
five
talk
thousand
about
years ago.
writing, yeah,
Yeah,
five
no,
thousand
five
years ago. What was
five
the
thousand
first
years ago.
language? Let's talk about that real quick. What's the first
Yeah.
language anyway?
Ooh,
What
I
do
don't
you
even
say?
know.
What's the first language?
Ubuntu.
Huh?
Ubuntu.
The first well writing, let's say with a lot of people say it's Hebrew. That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah. Okay, but Hebrew. Okay, but the Hebrews descended from a people that came from another people. So Hebrew is not the first language because the Hebrews descended from like what the Babylonians or the doggone Sumerians. The Hebrews didn't come to after people was here, so that wasn't the first language, of course not. But 5,000 years ago,
Yeah.
we start writing, right?
Mhm.
Before that, information was transmitted by word of mouth.
Yeah, oral tradition. Yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot the reason I bring this up. I know it came down to the point that when you talk about things like the flood, when they were passing this story down to the descendants, because it obviously started with somebody. Somebody originated the story, right?
Mhm.
Um, they didn't question it because you don't question your family, you don't question the elders. So when they told this, nobody questioned it. So when you say how did all these animals get on this ark, you gotta go back to where they lived at. There weren't that many animals in that area. So it's easy to imagine that all the animals in that area, goats, sheep, or whatever they had in Mesopotamia, all those could fit on the
Mhm.
ark. But we're in a day and age where we know that there's many animals. There's
Yeah.
animals still coming up that we don't even know about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's hard to imagine that all those animals, and there was no dinosaurs in Mesopotamia, right? No one knows that.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out why they keep trying to add dinosaurs up on this boat. That's what I've been trying to understand. I've
Yeah,
seen depictions of dinosaurs with feathers on them on the boat, and so
yeah.
it just a lot of it just does not make sense. Like if you really want to say
Mhm,
that dinosaurs were around during human times, then my thing is like, okay, like why aren't there dinosaurs right now? They would have kept going.
mhm,
They would have kept
mhm.
going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. I think because a lot don't want to feel that a lot wants to believe that dinosaurs were still here when we were here, and that death didn't come to after Adam ate the fruit. That's why I think a lot of
Hmm.
Christians believe that death did not come until Adam ate the fruit. But I mean, death happens all the time. Death has this is the irony, right? Death has to happen for life to take place, right?
Yeah.
It would be no life if death didn't take place. So life had to take place even before Adam was here. I mean, the plants had to die for life to come, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't
That's
like
right.
everything was living forever before Adam came. I'm just going according to the Bible.
Yeah, and it
But
goes even deeper though, because you got other species of humans also too.
hmm
So what
exactly.
kind
Yeah,
of
you have
well,
yeah.
yeah, that's another subject.
Yeah,
Now, what kind of
you have
species of human was Adam?
yeah,
And
you
that
have the yeah, you have the humanoids, all this, yeah, Neanderthals, the
yeah,
Homo erectus, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Homo
But I
habilis.
think that it's trying to stick with the fact that death was not here until Adam ate the fruit. And what that's ignoring is that death did happen. If
Hmm.
death didn't happen, life would not have went on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life could not go on if death didn't happen. Death has to happen for life to go on. You know what I'm saying? You have death has to. If nothing died, it nothing would. I'm not sure I'm articulating this right, but
No, you're not. You're good. It's gonna come
yeah, yeah,
eventually. You bobbing and weaving.
yeah,
You
yeah.
dropped the jab real quick.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I'm just saying that that's why I think that they put the dinosaurs on there. They want to feel that dinosaurs were still around when Adam was here, and so there was no reason for them to go extinct before Adam ate that fruit. So they were still here during Noah's day. You know,
Hmm.
that's the point I was trying to bring up. But speaking of that, I want to bring something up.
Go ahead.
Genesis 6:14, right? When we was talking about they covered the ark with bitumen or tar, right?
Yeah.
You ever read that part? I know you
I
read it, but you
I
ever
mean, I
noticed that
probably
part?
have. I probably
Okay,
have, but I probably haven't. But just go ahead. Just run
okay,
it through, because I'm just waiting on it.
okay. So all right, so Genesis 6:14. I'm gonna read it, right? And
Hmm.
according to the channel, I'm gonna read Genesis 6:14. I'm gonna show you that death did take place before before Adam ate the fruit, right?
Hmm.
It says Genesis 14, make yourself an ark of gopher wood, make rooms in the ark and cover inside out with pitch. What people don't realize is that this pitch was actually tar. What is tar made from? What's tar come from? Tar is
I
from
probably
fossil
know.
fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
Tar is from
Fossil.
fossil
Okay.
fuel.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
learning something, because I
So
never, believe it or not, I never did as much stuff I look up. I never really knew that.
yeah.
Never did.
Um yeah, a lot of people don't look at it. And I want to before I go, I want to reference this book right here. Anybody even when I was Joe Witness, I checked this book out because as Joe Witness, I still looked up other people's things. This book right here breaks this down. The Rocks Don't Lie. It goes into a geologist analysis of the global flood and how it could not have happened. This is a geologist. He wrote this book right here. All right. So check that out. But anyway, the bitumen or the tar came from fossil fuel. Fossil fuel comes from ancient animals that died and they fossil. Even the gas we get today, that comes from fossil fuel. The streets we make today, the streets the asphalt, that comes from fossil fuel.
I'm reading this
Okay,
right now,
so
man.
even, huh?
Oh my God, I'm reading this right now, man. It says, can I step in it? Okay, just a
Yeah, go ahead,
simple
go ahead.
search, man. It says the the pitch they claim is derived from oil or coal, and if coal did not form until during the time of Noah's Ark, you could not possibly have covered it with pitch. So you was just so in other words, you were just speaking a whole bunch of mistruths just now. You're talking about that they that they covered it up with that stuff.
Hmm. Well, what did it say? What did it say?
Oh, I'll read again. It's they claim the pitch, right? You're talking about the pitch,
Hmm.
right? It said they claim
Yeah.
it's derived from oil or coal, and if coal did not form until during the time of Noah's flood, he could not possibly cover the ark with pitch.
Hmm.
Yeah, just
Where did it come
simple.
from? Where did it come from?
It comes from fossil oil. Is derived from oil or coal.
Yeah. What's that?
Fossil fuel, right? Fossil fuel.
Yes. You know. You
Yeah,
said. No. You said.
fossil.
I said mistrue. What?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I was just saying you was trying to push that when it was wrong anyway from the very beginning.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But you
No.
can keep
No. What?
going.
What? No. What was the bitumen? What was that? What was that made of?
Yeah. Oh, you said tar, right? Tar,
Yeah.
coal.
Well.
Yeah.
What did it say? What did they say it was made from?
Oh, that pitch derived
Yeah.
from oil or coal. It's derived from oil or coal,
Oh. Okay.
and
And
coal
no.
did
You
not
said.
form
I said.
until.
No.
No,
You. No.
no,
I'm saying you.
I know
No.
I was talking about. Yeah, you just keep going, man. Just don't worry about it. What I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. So I'm saying. So yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So death happened before Adam was here.
Yeah, cause
Okay.
that. Yeah, cause it takes
So
time for that stuff to build to form. In
y-
other words.
exactly. Yeah. So before the flood, dinosaurs were extinct before the flood, or Noah couldn't have made the bitumen to cover the ark up.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome,
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I never did. You taught me something tonight. Like I really didn't even know that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
really
What's
when you
going on?
really
A
get,
pot?
yeah,
Oh.
you know what, man. Oh my bad, man. But I'm saying, man, you know what? We all need to go down there to that arc once this COVID mess is over with. We need to go down there
Uh huh.
and just win on them, man. We could join Aaron Rod and all them to say, hey, man, think about this perspective. There's no way they could have dinosaurs here because he had to covered it with Benduin, and that stuff wasn't even
Yeah.
around
Exactly.
during that time.
Yeah.
you,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly. And
yeah.
but still, no. I mean, a dinosaur. What is dinosaur though? If you think about it, 'cause, I mean, there probably were dinosaurs on the ark because I mean, we think of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. What was a dinosaur? What does that word mean?
Uh, the dinosaur is just a large reptile.
Large lizard, right?
Yeah, large lizard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So it could have been dinosaur, but when they showed Tyrannosaurus Rex, I mean, come on, that they a Tyrannosaurus Rex fit on a doggone ark,
Well,
he
so
would have
what you
sunk
going?
that thing.
How you gonna feed them?
Yeah. Did he wait when he went on the ark? Did he duck his head to go inside the door? Where did he sit at? Now the creationists they say that they were babies. What do you say to that? Maybe the animals were babies. What do you say to that?
What happened to them? What happened to the animals then? They were babies. I mean, why do we not have dinosaurs right at this time? Because here it is
Hmm.
still all in all. Like you got this is so much. They just ask so many different questions, not really even thinking about
Yeah,
reality. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
right then and
yeah,
there, you still, mind you, for all that's been said, you still have other nations, other areas of the world. Their time frame is not. Um, I
yeah,
think we just thrown out, but yeah, still going on. So what
hmm,
happened to the dinosaurs then? What
yeah,
wiped out the dinosaurs? Now some people might say
yeah.
humans wiped them out, but come on, man, who's going to kill a T Rex? Or what was the whole
Well, I
point?
mean,
What was the
but I
whole
mean,
point of gathering that?
but I mean, everywhere we go, we do wipe out animals, though. I'm just saying, everywhere we go,
Yeah, yeah.
animals go extinct.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
man, you're not gonna wipe out no doggone T-Rex. I mean,
Yeah, they didn't have the. Yeah, back in the day,
you know, if
I don't think we could take on no it wasn't no spears can take no Tyrannosaurus Rex out. They would tore us up. Today we might could take them out, but
right,
back in the day,
yeah,
yeah, spears and chariots, no, they would have tore us up. Apostate Bay, what's going
yeah.
on, Apostate Bay? TW, what's going on?
But I will say this, man, about the whole entire Bible chronology and stuff like that. If we throw off the Bible chronology, then I mean, or the way that they have it set up, wouldn't that just throw off just everything completely? I just think the problem is that if you really want to say that the dates are important, man, and if you really
Hmm.
want to say that this is the holy book, holiest of holiest book, why did not put any dates in there? Why are there not any dates so that you know that
Yeah,
human history,
yeah.
humans have to
Well,
have,
even okay.
yeah.
Well, even okay. Check this out. But even if they did put the dates, what would be the starting point? Because their date would go back farther. Cause our starting point in America is what? Jesus' birth is our starting point in America. Jesus' birth. Like when does zero start? When does the year one start?
Well, they just now, well, they threw it out now. I think they say the common
Hmm.
era. That's what they
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it now.
Well,
Yeah, they call it,
what's
yeah.
that based on? What's that
Still,
based on
it's
though?
based on still Christianity in a sense. They just
Yeah.
changed it.
So
They just changed the meaning of it now.
yeah. So even if the Bible put the
Nobody
dates,
knows.
what would that be based on? What would that date be based on?
I think it would have to be based on a certain event. Now I'm not trying to get too crazy in the. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. Okay, I'm an avid Star Wars reader. Okay, what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I don't know if I told you this or not, but if you've ever researched Star Wars, for instance, then they you kind of familiar with Star Wars a little bit, right? A little bit.
A little bit. And I haven't watched.
Yeah,
I watched
a
some.
little
I
bit,
never
a little
never
bit.
got into it.
Okay. I'm a avid Star reader once again. But anyway, they base their chronology on the Battle of Yavin. So you've got
Hmm.
after the Battle of Yavin, you have ABY, and then you have
Hmm.
the history from before then, BBY. So before
Yeah.
the Battle of Yavin. So then
Yeah.
it's kind of like history. We have to base our history based upon a certain event, so to say,
Hmm.
so or a certain battle. Like if we want to
Hmm.
say that the Vietnam War, we can say this amount of years before the Vietnam War or something like that.
Hmm.
That's how we are kind of able to track history, so to say. But I kind of wonder why they use the whole Christ thing. That's just another topic, but I mean it's kind of interesting how they do that. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I just think
Yeah.
that
I'm saying even.
nobody, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying even if the Bible did put dates, I
Hmm.
don't know if it would coincide with our dates. Like we could say, okay, say the Bible said Adam was created in 200,000 BCE. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say if the Bible said that. I think that the Bible doesn't give the Bible doesn't give all history. Even you look at the Book of Chronicles, some people are missing. Like you look at Book of Chronicles, some people in that chronology is missing. So like
Right.
even some people that skip some people, and it skip a whole generation of people, but it look like the person that they skip is the son of the other person. It's just
Hmm.
kind of hard, and I think that some people they're putting too much emphasis on this bishop's chronology and not looking at the fact that when the Bible says something, it's not focusing on a date because they didn't go by dates like we're going by. I don't think they even had a conception of a beginning date like we do. I think we'll
You know,
focus on the history of the beginning date. I don't think they focus so much on the beginning date of when stuff started. Like I don't think they focus on when Adam was created like as much as we do. Um, and I mean, nobody knows that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, I don't want to change this up. I'm just saying that I think that we're
no, you
looking too
good.
much at like, yeah, if the Bible did give a date, they would have based it off pretty much the creation of Adam, and
Uh-huh.
Adam didn't even know he was created because there was no. If you're created in this whole thing, I don't know if you, as a created individual, would think of when was I created? Okay, I was created 930 years ago, so that's year one. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm just,
I like this
I
first
don't
said
know. I'm,
because we're actually trying to piece together some things. We're just asking these questions out here.
hmm
But this
yeah,
person was
exactly.
saying, the people in the comments said they're more smart than us. Really, we're thinking.
Yeah,
I think who this Sparkloak jaw
jaw
dropper.
dropper.
Yeah, he was saying that, and I'm not gonna read his whole entire comment, but he was mentioning how a 600-year-old drunk nudist built a freaking water zoo basically and sell it to Mount Everest. Like seriously.
Damn, that's crazy. He was nude. He
But
was
look,
naked.
but yeah, oh yeah, yeah, and then the whole entire thing. Oh my gosh, the whole entire thing. Why they say that black people are cursed? Okay, because Noah, what was his son Ham, saw his
Hmm.
nakedness. Yeah. So
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
this whole entire story, man, is just like
it's
this is
crazy.
things that we never do think about, you know. And I think
Yeah.
Watchtower had to clean that up, did they not? Cause they said that one time black people were derived from the curse
Yeah.
of
Of
Ham, and that,
Ham. Yeah. Yeah. Ham. Yeah.
yeah, and that's why that's why we are basically
Yeah. They
oppressed
don't.
and
Yeah. Those
everything
those
like
books
that.
are out of. They don't even bring those books up no more. That's a
No,
Charles
they don't.
Russell.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's the
Yeah. They
evidence that
don't
they
bring that
want
up no
people
more.
to see.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
aside from that, man, like let's talk about like so you mentioned about the killing of animals and stuff like that. But the number one thing, the number one kicker, I think, is this: what is one thing? And I'm not trying to get too political, but when people talk about abortion, now I'm not an advocate for that. You know, if that's person's choice that they want to do that. But a lot of
Hmm.
times people like to bring or to use the Bible as a basis for that. But my
Hmm.
thing is this: there were humans going along during Noah's
Hmm.
time, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe Noah could have reached every single person on the
Yeah.
planet.
Hmm.
You have people we're still getting it on. Things still going
Yeah.
on. What they say, women being given in marriage, people drink, people doing this, that, and the third. Okay, I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that there were pregnant women on the
Yeah.
earth around that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that unborn child has to bear the consequences of
Mm.
the decision that that person made or that person didn't know about. So
Wow.
did the biblical God even think about the unborn babies before he just wiped the earth clean,
Mm.
so called?
That's crazy.
But
So
yet,
God created
yeah,
abortion. So God did abortions during that time.
I'm
That's
not.
that's crazy.
I mean,
Wow. That's crazy.
I mean that
Yeah.
that's this is these are the questions that you have
well,
to
well, I
ask
mean,
yourself.
hey. well, why did he create the adults?
Cause they were not taking heed. They were just
okay, so
acting a fool.
I'm a speak like Joe Winters. A baby roach
Excuse me.
turns into what?
You said baby roach,
Yeah, baby roach turns into what? An
a
adult
bit.
roach.
Yeah, yeah, adult roach. Yeah, yeah.
So
So a pest.
a baby wicked person will turn into adult wicked person, right?
Man, you can't say that, man.
Got
You really thinking. You
it.
really thinking. You can't say that. So I mean,
Yeah, I know.
so my thing is this. Okay,
I'm
since you
just
want to say
hey,
that, no,
I'm
no,
being
no, no,
what's
no, no.
hey
No, that's
what's that
good.
fat
That's
dude?
good.
What's the fat dude name that did the video? What's that fat Joe Winters dude that do
What's
video?
on Daryl?
Yeah, I'm being him right now.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
so
So
you
there
gonna
you
say
go.
that? So you gonna
Yeah,
say that?
the brick wall you ran into it. That brick wall.
Well, I'm about to bust it down. So you mean to tell me that you just gonna pass judgment? You gonna pass judgment on an unborn child?
yeah,
Is that what we're doing now? You're gonna pass
yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I
Like,
mean,
come
yeah,
on, man.
you
Come on.
can't
That child not
because
get a
that
chance to even get the truth.
yeah, and even I mean yeah because you can't know what that baby will turn out to, and life is
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah,
sacred.
exactly.
So why would he kill life that
Yeah,
did not do anything wrong? Why
yeah,
would he kill yeah
yeah.
why would he
You're
kill
exactly
life that
right.
didn't do anything wrong? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very interesting that he says no abortion, but God did abortions during the flood.
yeah. What
So
did he
God is
do? He
above the
all of
law.
a sudden he stopped people. Now you can take it outside the box. Now you can say that. Oh well, he stopped people from getting pregnant. He stopped all women from getting pregnant. But I mean, we can't verify that. That's something that's kind of important. Like you want that to be. You want to know that we have
Hmm.
morality. That's something that's instilled in us. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
there's
exactly.
been
So
many of reasons that's been told to me. Like somebody was like the whole apartment complex. Like, would you evict if you had an apartment complex full of bad people, would you just everybody was bad, not being a few good ones? Would you evict just everybody out? You know what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
what some of the reasons of why people have said certain
Yeah.
things. But I mean, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like they just wiped the earth clean. Like they were. I'm pretty sure that there were, you know, women or Noah couldn't reach everybody. There's just so many reasons as to why this event couldn't occur. But also too, you have to think about the person that did it,
Hmm.
or the
Yeah.
entity that did it, like the
Yeah.
morality of God. Like, come on, like he's gonna wipe out unborn children and things of
Yeah.
that nature. And also too, we
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
know, like, look, and I mean, I like what you did at the start of this video when you completely just obliterate, said, look, take the chronology out of it, you know what I'm saying, or the
Hmm.
time frame. But yet, and still,
Yeah.
like, we have to think it has to be at some point, whereas there was more than just a small bit of humans on the earth. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because here it is,
Yeah.
you have different fossils, different animals, which have
Yeah.
been discovered far older. You know what I'm saying? During that
Hmm.
time, that's been in existence. You know,
Yeah.
even animals
Yeah.
of today. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if we descended from three people, that means cousins was having sex with cousins, which Moses said do not do.
Mhm.
Now I can see Adam and Eve, their kids, because the Bible said, Joe Witness say they were close to perfection, so we're not affected them. But if Noah and his three sons were the only people that survived, that means their descendants were cousins. That means cousins were banging cousins, and they would have birth defects. So we come from people with birth defects, right?
I've heard of this right here. I think they said that if they were more closer to perfection.
When Noah was closer
I
to
for that.
perfection,
Yeah, because he lived
when
longer. He
Noah
was
he was two
closer.
thousand,
He,
well, he was 2,000 years removed from perfection.
well, that's
That's
what.
not close. 2,000
But you
years.
threw out.
That I mean, Jesus died. Jesus died already, and then I mean, from since the 2,000 years, Jesus died 2,000 years ago, right? That's close to
Mhm.
perfection. That's close to perfection.
Look, that's what was told to me. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I can see Cain and Abel, right? I can see Cain and Abel. They was close, but 2,000 years, that's not close at all. And by that
yeah.
time, if cousins have sex with cousins, these would have been first cousins. The descendants would have came out flawed.
Mhm.
The descendants would have came out flawed. So Noah's, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. If Sham's son had sex with Shem's daughter, they would have came out deformed.
Yeah.
And then their kids would have had sex with their second or third cousin. Um, no. So it was obviously other people on Earth after Noah and them came out the ark
Mhm.
that they had sex with, because you have sex with your cousin, it's going to come out flawed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So that just completely just throws that right there out. And so I like how
yeah,
we're trying each other also too.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I like
it,
that. I like that because it's making it's making your brain work. I know you tired, NKT. What time is it over there? Nine
no, you
o'clock, almost
good.
10 o'clock.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
No, you're
yeah,
good. You're good. You're good. No,
yeah,
I'm actually reading something from my notes, man. That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
reading. I'm
But
reading
I
this
want to
right here.
ask you.
Go ahead.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
go over another thing though. I want to go
Go
another
ahead.
thing that happened during Noah's day. The
Mhm.
Nephilim. I want to go to the Nephilim.
That's just what I was on too.
So the Watchtower says that these, and not the Watchtower, because Josephus talks about the children of God, the sons of God being angels, right?
Mhm.
And so the angels had sex with women.
Yeah,
How
they
did they
turned
explain?
themselves. Go ahead.
How did they explain that happened? How did they explain that angels having sex with women? Because angels are spirits, we are physical. How does something spiritual have sex with something physical?
Well, they said that they materialized themselves into um into a humans just to get down and busy with the women on the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
That's how. Yeah.
So, does that mean that angels in spirit form have reproductive organs in spirit form? Because you only materialize what you already have spiritually, right? You only materialize what you already have,
Mhm.
right? So, does that mean angels have reproductive organs? And that mean that all angels are males?
see, this kind of getting a little tougher because I think a lot of times they say that I read something where people say that angels are what's the term for that, hermaphrodites or something like that. They have both.
Mm.
I have
So
heard that
angel,
before.
interesting. So angels
Uh,
have reproductive organs in heavens for what? Because that's going along with the Mormon theology now that
mm-hmm.
you we are the production of God's having sex.
Yeah.
Um, in order for angels to materialize, they already had to have reproductive organs.
Here we go. Since you want to talk about that, why is God a he? What defines he or
Yeah, yeah,
she?
yeah, yeah. Why is God a he or she? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So let's get it in a little quick. You know what I'm saying? Why is
Yeah,
God
yeah,
described as a he? If
yeah,
God, what does God need sexual organs for? In other words, like
yeah. I
why does
think.
he even need that?
Well, I think I know why they describe God as he, and it comes down to the Hebrew language. Yeah,
Masculine
the masculine and
principles.
feminine now. Yeah, it
Right.
comes down to masculine and feminine now. Because like even and I'll give you an example. Even in Proverbs 8, right, when it talks about she, when it's talking about wisdom, it says she, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom in Hebrew
Yeah.
is Sophia, which is a feminine noun in Hebrew. So I can understand why they
Right.
call God a he because Elohim is a masculine. But
Oh,
when you talk
exhibit
about,
energy also
huh?
too.
Yeah, yeah.
So God
But when you talk
exerts
of,
feminine energy because he's got a son.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, he has to have both. I
Go ahead.
mean, the energy has to have both. It has
Yeah.
to have everything has to have a negative and positive to balance out. Everything, the neutron, the proton, you know what I'm saying? Neutron, proton, all these
Mm-hmm.
things are negative, and it has to be a opposing force, right, or something to balance it
Yeah.
out. So I can understand
TW
energy
said,
having.
yeah. Not to get too off topic, but TW said they morph into human bodies. They were not really human, which explains the giants.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
how?
So anyway,
Yeah.
okay, so TW, if they morphed into humans, they morphed with penises, and they had all. So they morphed with the testicles, all the everything to make humans. How do you explain that?
Yeah. Yeah. They morph into a human and they cause the woman to give birth to a giant, and the humans turn.
To a giant. So
Yeah.
why didn't it get birth to a half human, half angel? I mean, angels giants?
Well, I guess you can argue this right here that okay, just like you have a lion and a tiger,
Yeah,
it makes a liger in a sense.
yeah.
So if you have two different two different like species, so to say, then you're going to birth a hybrid.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that's the production of Nephilim, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Now,
what they say.
according to Genesis, says there were Nephilim in those days and after. I think somebody mentioned that before. So if there were Nephilim after the flood, does that mean angels were still having sex with women after the flood? Because I thought that God took that power away after the flood.
Right, right. So that's a good one. So where why are we still here? And
Yeah,
there's the way what you can argue. So okay, Tito said
yeah.
offspring were humans. Okay, so this is what you can argue that the flood was not that the flood just occurred in a small area and that
Mm-hmm.
there were giant places in the world because you
Uh-huh.
do hear about in other countries about different types of large entities
Yeah.
in other words about stuff that's described like giants and stuff like that. So I mean you can
Yeah.
argue that,
Yeah.
you can if
Well,
you still want to
even the Philistines, right? Even the Philistines, they
mhm,
came from an island um from the Caspian Sea, right? The Philistines came from the island of the Caspian Sea. And a lot of times when you have toxins in the air, it could cause mutations because the Philistines had 6 fingers. So I can understand that. When the Philistines not originate in Canaan, they originate from a island somewhere in the Caspian Sea. I forgot the island. And so yeah, you can't be giants. But the Bible says the giants responsible from doggone angels having sex with
I think
humans.
you're break.
Oh, I'm breaking up.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you started to
Oh,
sound like you was on auto tune just now. On my end, that
oh.
is.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is that even in Joshua, it talks about Nephilim being in Canaan. Does that mean that angels were still having sex in Canaan, or could Nephilim be from angels and at the same time be from humans?
Let's just keep it simple, man. Did God wipe out all
Yeah, yeah,
creation?
yeah.
Did He wipe
I
out
got,
all creation? Yes or
I
no?
got, I got you.
Did
No, I'm just, I know, but I'm just saying that if the Bible were to be taken literal, this is what it's
uh-huh.
talking about. And also, the Bible says that the sons of God came down, and we'll move on real quick. I'm just trying to break
No, you're
down a couple
good.
of things. As okay, so the Bible says that the sons of God took women to be wives, right? They took wives, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay,
that's what it says.
so did Jesus say that angels don't marry or give it into marriage in Matthew 22?
Scripture, Mark.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's in Mark. I believe he said that
Oh,
angels don't take um wives.
yeah. Okay, so I'm just asking any Jehovah's Witness or any Christian, does the Bible contradict itself when it says sons of
Or
God took
could now
wives?
now somebody can argue this now. That's a new law, or that's what's set in
Oh,
stone. Somebody you can't say this.
ah,
So you can't say
okay,
that. That
interesting.
God went ahead and made that law, you know what I'm saying? But then it's also too,
Yeah,
okay, why didn't he make that from the very beginning? But aside from all this, man, aside from all this, think about this, okay?
yeah. Go
God's
ahead.
supposed
I'm
to
gonna
be
turn my
all
camera off real
knowing.
quick. Go
Like
ahead.
you good. Okay, so God's supposed to be all knowing. And I'm not trying to blaspheme anybody's God. I'm just thinking about this whole situation. Okay. Help me out. Shoot. Help me out. So God's supposed to be all knowing. You think that he would not know that human beings were going to make this, that this was going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like if he should have known that, okay, why we have, okay, he said he's supposed to give us free will and everything like that. But my thing is this, okay, like my kids, they can do whatever they want to do as long as they do not do things to harm themselves. So why in the world, if I knew that I have these angels and I'm all knowing, and I know that they're looking at these women that's down here, I know what's going to happen because I'm the one that set up my creation. Why would I even allow this to happen? You know what I'm saying? Why would I not go ahead and assemble some other super angels or whatever or whatnot to guard whatever window or portal that they use down there
Hmm.
that when they get down there? Why?
Yeah.
Why allow all this to go on? Or were you sitting up there enjoying it or watching it, and all of a sudden you say, "Oh snap! I messed up. Let me just go ahead and just wipe everything clean. Let me start all over. Just scribble, tear it all up, and start over." You know that's just these are the questions that I had. You know what I'm saying? These
Hmm.
are the questions that I ask people. Like, okay, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be all knowing. Like, why in the
Yeah.
world would you allow this to go on?
Well,
For
I
good,
think
well,
they
it's
say
supposed
he
to be.
chose. I think they say he chose not to know. So God deliberately stayed ignorant. I think that's the answer they give. God remained ignorant. So God had cognitive dissonance.
Did God need to repent?
Did he need to repent? Did God need to repent? Who did he ask for forgiveness? Who
So
did God
did
ask for
did
forgiveness?
so that means did he sin? So God sinned.
Yeah, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, I don't think God sinned. No, but it
You don't
does
think he
say,
sinned?
no, but it does. No, it does say
He
God
broke the
does
law.
evil.
Yeah,
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 it
yes.
does.
That's yeah. That now that goes into some of the higher levels of spiritual understanding, because it's
Hmm.
believed that it's really all like God's well, it's like it goes back to the what's it called, the Kabbalion, the seven hermetic principles. You know that
Yeah.
there's different poles. There's good
Uh
and
huh.
evil. So God is made up of all that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think John Jobber
Um.
said if fallen angels start out as perfect when they develop babies, razors, spas,
Yeah, if they start as perfect, when do they desire to mate with imperfect humans? Because I mean, to mate with something of a different species, that takes a certain type of mental condition. That's the same thing as me desiring to mate with a horse or a dog. Me
yeah.
as an angel desiring to mate with a human would be tantamount to me as a human desiring to mate with a dog or a cat. That's sick. You have a messed up desire. We are different. We're on different planes. So yeah. Apostate Bay said God chose to be ignorant. Well, he that's what I think the Watchtower says. God chose to be ignorant when it comes to Adam and Eve's sin. He chose not to know. But I mean, yeah, an angel desiring a human is not natural.
I got
But
it.
this goes
I
back.
got it.
Go
Can you
ahead,
hear me? I got it. He knew what was going on. He just chose to play it down.
huh? But
He
why
knew
would
that
he
the
do that?
angels going there.
So that was
That's what
was
he
that
didn't
was
want them
that
to.
point?
He didn't want everybody else to panic. Okay, that's what he didn't want. He didn't want them in heaven to panic. Okay, that's all that
So
was, man.
so was that Pornhub for God? Was that Pornhub? Did God watch Pornhub from heaven? If he chose not to know when the angels came down here, he would have knew what they was going to do.
Hmm.
So instead of turning off the internet, as Joe Witness say, God kept the internet on and watched Pornhub.
Yeah,
Huh?
pretty
Yeah,
much. He was enjoying. He was
yeah.
enjoying what was going on. And then he said, okay, this is wrong." But also too, I mean, he saw this was going on. My mind's just turning right now. Okay, there's something that's in the I can't bring it up because I don't have it with me. I'll probably have to bring it up from a later date. But there's something that says that I read one time that it's basically like that God is a was appointed. It's an assembly. It's part of an assembly of other gods. Something that's
Hmm.
in the text, but I don't have it with me right now, so I'm not even going to really even bring it up because I don't want to sound crazy.
Well,
You know.
I think it's in Job. I think it does say in Job. What you
Hmm.
talking about?
Yeah. See, you know.
Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. No. That was pretty much it. Now you can go on to your next point though.
No, go ahead. What you were saying? Because I think what you're talking about. I think they do talk about assembly in Job, where even Satan was up there.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. Cause
Okay.
I don't have it with
So
me.
so um, I just want to finish out on the Nephilim. When you talk about the Bible, and again, if you want to believe a flood took place, a global flood, go ahead. Even scientists, and this I'll admit this, even scientists say that one time the Earth was covered with 98% of water. Okay, 98% of water, the Earth was covered. But were there humans on Earth at the time? That's the question. But anyway, going back to the Nephilim, when you have different myths, right,
Hmm.
of gods coming down having sex with humans. Hercules, I think Hercules is an example of a mighty man of old. Hercules was the product of Zeus and a woman, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Even was Gilgamesh the product of a god and a woman?
I'm not entirely sure, but I can look it up. I just know the actual stories and what it's
Okay.
derived from and the counterparts. But
Okay.
aside from
So
Gilgamesh, I'm not sure entirely.
okay. So there are many different myths where gods came down and had sex with humans and created demigods. Even hell, even Wonder Woman's a demigod. Even Wonder Woman's the god of Zeus, the daughter of Zeus and another woman. Um, but these are myths. These are meant to all these myths are the purpose of them is not to really give historical detail, but to give a lesson of something, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're exactly right.
So is it possible that the people who wrote Genesis are people who, because I think Genesis, am I right that Genesis was not written until after the Jews were exiled in Babylon, right?
Yeah,
Genesis
that's
was not
correct. And
written.
I
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
So
but let me add this also too that
go ahead.
a lot of scholars say that that a lot of those like the Torah, for instance, and all that they says is a product of the 6th century BCE. That's what
Okay.
yeah, that's what a lot of modern scholars say today.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So when they when they compiled this record, they obviously compiled it based on some stories they heard. Um, Before they wrote this down, there were stories being passed around about a flood or
Hmm.
things like that. But when they wrote it down, because they were exiled and things like that, is it possible that, and I'm just asking this hypothetically, is it possible that the people who wrote this scroll or this book that we know as Genesis today, is it possible they were writing this to uplift the morale of the people who are exiled to give them a lesson and not so much as to teach them history?
Yeah, it's I believe that it's very much you can really assume or really conclude that
Yeah,
it was used as to give people a lesson because I
yeah.
mean, what better way to really uplift people than to give them a story to bounce back off of? Because that's what they did in ancient times. And I think a lot of
Hmm.
times we overthink and overanalyze a lot of ancient writings and stuff like that. Because what they didn't have no TVs back then. They didn't have
Hmm.
no news stations back then.
Yeah.
It was a different type of world. So a
Hmm.
lot of times things people did was they gathered around and they told stories. See, I see somebody said my volume is really very low. I hate this mic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to get a new mic. But yeah, but basically, let me rewind. Let me rewind. So basically, it's like this. Back then, people they didn't have TVs. They didn't
Uh-huh.
have news channels. They didn't have things of that nature. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like people they needed certain things to do, like they told stories in a very visual stories, and their
Hmm.
imagination worked wonders because a lot of things within the world, a lot of phenomenons they couldn't really explain. So what better
Hmm.
way to tell stories that may have stretched a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But the whole moral of the story is awareness and what to do and how to avoid what to do during a catastrophic event. That's just basically from Noah's flood story.
Another catastrophic event, I would say Lot in the Sodom and Gomorrah. Is that what you're
You
asking?
said yeah, yeah, like how to take forth heat awareness. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I think when it comes to the lesson from the Bible, and as I said that when they wrote these scriptures, and don't get me wrong, I do believe that because some Christians believe that Moses wrote the book of Genesis or Deuteronomy. I'm not going to discredit that. I do believe Moses kept some type of record, but I believe the final edition was produced during the Babylonian exile. And so I believe that the reason they wrote this is to teach the Israelites that evildoers will not escape punishment. See, when you
Okay.
are enslaved, I could take it today, right? As us as black people, when we were enslaved, we were looking for freedom. Imagine some
Mhm.
slave. Imagine Nat Turner come and wrote a story that God eliminated the Egyptians. Imagine how that would
Yeah.
thrill us. That if we just wait for God, He's going to eventually do what He did in that past. And so I think that whoever compiled that, they were trying to teach the Israelites that if you just wait, just like He eliminated the evildoers in the past in Noah's day, He's going to do that now. Don't give up hope. And that he has a
Mhm.
chosen people. We descended from Noah through Shem all the way to Abraham. We are his people because that's what the whole book of Genesis is about, where the Israelites
Right.
came from. You know, the whole book of Genesis is not about the creation of earth. That's a minor part. the book of Genesis is basically telling where the Israelites came from. It starts with Abraham from the chapter 15 to chapter 50. That whole book is about Abraham. That's not about the creation of
Mhm.
earth. If you're spending more than half of the book about a certain people and their patriarch, that's what that book is about. The book of Genesis is about where the Israelites came from and why they ended up in Egypt and why they're in the condition now. So, me personally, I think the flood story is to really tell people that if you just wait, evildoers will have their day of judgment. Even Peter said in Second Peter that um, just like the days of Noah, man, there'll be a day of judgment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I truly think the lesson of the flood was. It wasn't so much as teaching the history. I think it was more of that you guys are enslaved right now, but don't worry about it. Don't fret. We still God's people. And these Babylonians, these Assyrians, everybody, they're going to have a day of judgment. It might not be by water, but they're going to have a day of judgment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just like how I say, and I mean, that's a good understanding that you have of it, and it makes sense too, uplifting the people. And I mean, I just think that both of us really have a very good understanding of the story. Like me, it just comes down to this, like what I say all the time. Like there are three stages of religion. You have mythology and spiritual symbolism, and they're never intended to be understood as factual events which occur in a particular place and time. But
Mm-hmm.
it's it's to be understood as reoccurring principles of human life. In
Mm-hmm.
your instance, okay, people always need upliftment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In my understanding of it, okay, you need to heed forth warnings that's going or something that's going to come. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Like our situation right now over here in America with COVID. Okay, okay, you can kind of say that this is sort of like a flood that's coming through, viruses and stuff like that. Okay, you have people that you're getting warned. You need to take forth the necessary precautions to keep yourself safe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Yeah.
different ways that you can use these stories to benefit your life. It doesn't
Exactly.
yeah, but it's never intended to be totally literal. It's not, because
Mm-hmm.
if you take it literal, then you're going to be putting your life on a basic standstill, and you're going to be doing yourself really a disservice. But rather, take these stories as something that can basically uplift you, and you can
Yeah.
use to push yourself through whatever
Yeah.
obstacle
Yeah.
comes your way. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I mean, you the focus on what you missed the whole point of what it's talking about. And I think that's very important. You don't want to focus the literal interpretation as more of the moral lesson of it. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible is
yeah.
pretty much subjective to anybody to interpret. The same Bible. It's funny. The same Bible they used to justify slavery was the same Bible Nat Turner used to mobilize the resistance to slavery. You know what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
Bible is subjective to anybody's interpretation, but it's not. If you're looking at one thing and saying, okay, the flood happened, I think you're missing the whole point of why the people wrote it. You know what I'm saying? And so look at it and
Mhm.
say, what's the reason? What's the moral behind the story? Just like Aesop's Fable. Aesop's Fables had morals behind it. What was the reason for that tortoise beating the hare? You know what I'm saying? What was the reason for the mouse and the lion? You know what I'm saying? So look at these as
Yeah.
understanding what's the moral of this whole story, and then try to live your life accordingly. As I said, I have no problem with the Bible. I have problem with people using the Bible for selfish reasons. I have no problem with the Bible because the Bible still contains wisdom. Every book in the past, I mean, you can look at the any religious book. It contains a lot of wisdom because these are people that had wisdom. I don't
Yeah.
despise any wisdom. I just despise people using it for selfish reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And you see, this is why me and you kind of connect a little, because I have the same way. Like, some people like they automatically assume that, okay, if you don't believe that the Bible is order, you don't believe in God. Like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not entirely true. Like, I do
Yeah.
believe
Exactly.
there is a higher power. Like,
Yeah.
if we really gonna do another video, like, we could talk about my beliefs when it comes to when it comes to God, like, is do I believe in God? Like, and I can go ahead and say, like, I believe there's a higher power, that no, you mean you can look up in the sky and know that there's something that's higher than you. So you think about the
Hmm.
universe within itself and know that there's something that's higher than you, but does it care whether or not I'm whacking off or not? Does it care whether or not you're doing this, that, and the third? I'm
Yeah,
like, nah, not within itself, but still, like, there are consequences for
yeah,
actions that you make. You know what I'm saying? You're
yeah,
gonna get, yeah, good things or
yeah,
bad
yeah,
things gonna come about. You know,
yeah. And
but
speak and speaking of, and yeah, but I'm
yeah,
saying speaking of whacking off, people are getting killed left and right today, right?
yeah,
You mean to
people are
tell
dying
me
of cold.
God is watching? Yes, God is watching you whack off and more mad at you than terrorists and people killing other people. You mean to tell me that he's looking at you with indignation while people is killing people?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, whatever you do, so yeah, we might could do a part. What is this? Part three? Is it part three? What is this? Part three?
This is part. Yeah, it's part three. You got to do a part four,
Okay.
I believe.
So you want to do a
Yeah.
part? Okay. So you want to do a part four as to what your understanding of God is? I would like to hear that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, a lot of people think that because you don't believe the Bible, you don't believe in God. I believe in God. I just don't believe in the Jewish interpretation of them. This is
Yeah.
what it comes down to. The Bible is an interpretation of God.
Yeah, it's one.
You know
It's
what I'm saying?
man's interpretation of God. But
Yeah.
one of the things that led me to, and we can kind of talk about this so we can lead on to the next video. One of the things that kind of led me sort of out of that interpretation of God was because I've always had, even when I was in, man, I had this higher expectations of a higher power. Now, some people say, well, you all, I think one Jehovah's Witness said that y'all want God on your own terms. I can't get down with that because I'm in
Yeah.
representation. I'm made in God's image. So here it is.
Hmm.
I have this level of morality. And when I read this, I'm like, okay, no God cannot, this is not, no God would not do this. There's different ways to go about with dealing with wickedness on this earth. Now, I have heard this before when it comes to the whole flood situation. People have said this. People said that we are in a universe whereas there's different decisions that God made, and we're in the universe to whereas He made a certain decision, whereas He made a decision to wipe out the people, and we're descendants of them. You know what I'm saying? I have heard of that. It's kind of crazy, But people actually, they actually say that we're in a universe to where God made a different decision. There's another universe to where this stuff or that stuff actually exists. Or we could say that okay, we're in a universe to whereas God wrote about this decision, and then here it is, we're reading about it, but yet still He didn't make that decision. We're in that universe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff, man. But
Yeah.
it kind
Yeah.
of makes
Yeah.
you think, don't it?
Yeah.
you
But
know?
again, that's a person's interpretation based
Thank
off of
you.
their experience. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yes. So I mean, every
Yeah.
holy book is somebody's interpretation of what they supposedly got from God. But my question is, why is God not calling me? Why is you asking my neighbor about me? If you are my father, why are you going to my
Uh,
brother telling him about me? That's gossip. Why is God gossiping? God
yeah.
can talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I talk to each, if I want any of my children to know anything, I tell them personally. So
Go
why
tell
is God going
Pharaoh.
to certain yeah. So why is God going to certain people telling them what they need to hear and you have to go to those people?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So I would like to know your interpretation of God. Maybe we could do that in part four. I have an interpretation of God. Me personally, I don't believe God is a person. But I do believe there's a higher power. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? If God is a person and I die and I meet him, I mean, so be it. You know what I'm saying? If I meet God in the last
Oh,
days,
I've got a good picture for you. But I'm hoping I did well
yeah.
on this video today, man.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah. You
to
did.
be
Yeah,
real with
yeah.
you and to be real with the audience. I this is like some of the stuff like it's like this, and I'm gonna close out on this point. It's like this: when you first get out of Watchtower, you're trying to a lot of information. You have a lot of questions, but then it's like after a while, you get to a certain point to whereas you stash a lot of stuff away and you start dealing with regular, normal life, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I do believe that during this time, 2020 has been hell. Like literally, if the Bible talks about hell, well, 2020 has been some hell, man. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
For a lot of people, yeah, for a lot of people. So I mean, it's like when you get out of that, like it's like you start going to focus on different things, and so that's why sometimes I'm like, well, dang, maybe I was a little more sharper, so to say, when I when I was in a waking up. Well, not waking up. Dang, I
Mm.
hate that terminology. Once again, when I was in the learning,
Yeah.
when I was in the learning phase, so to say, or
Mm-hmm.
trying to piece together all that. This was my interest, so forgive me if I, kind of said some things that were kind of not really explained too well, but please
Mm-hmm.
comment and ask,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
what does this person mean about the nuance? Why did he bring up nuance? I'm not truly understanding that. You know,
yeah,
I did a matter of
yeah.
fact,
Exactly.
Jumanji. I did a video one time about this very subject on my YouTube channel, House of Shango. I think I still have it on there. But I did a whole presentation about
Mm-hmm.
Watchtower. They actually have a. You've heard that date that they basically tried to bring up about, or they tried to prophesy that I think it's like no, I think the flood. No, excuse me, Armageddon's coming 2030 or something like that.
Oh no, I never heard of that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. It was a Watchtower article that came out, and they was basically paralleling these days to Noah's day since 1914.
No, I never. No, I never heard of that. Maybe you
Yeah,
can. Yeah, but share with I probably put it in the description, but yeah, I never heard of
yeah.
that. Cause yeah, they. I think they. I think they should learn a lesson from telling. If they still predicting dates, something wrong with them. Cause they should learn their lesson. Yeah. But
TW,
anyway,
we
man.
can. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I put the link in it. If anybody want to come on and try to ask a question or go in as to why you believe in the flood, I'm gonna stay on for like 8 more minutes.
Yeah,
I'll
y'all
put
can
the
go
link in the
jump in.
chat. Yeah, I put the link in the chat. Click on that. I'm staying on for 8 more minutes. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah. I was reading TW's comment. Said I have a topic for the future. Why do non born in JWs who join Watchtower always come from a troubled past? Watchtower takes advantage of non-born ins.
Yeah, cause I tell you, it's interesting. 2 Timothy. If you look at 2 Timothy, and it's just thing about the Watchtower. They skip
Hmm.
verses when we talk about last day, but you read 2 Timothy,
Yeah.
they go from 1 to 5, but you read after 1 through 5, it talks about evil man slipping away into houses and talking to vulnerable women
Yeah.
and getting them. It says that during the last day. So the Watchtower go from 2 Timothy 3 1 through 5, and they skip to verse 15, where it
Right.
talks about evil doers. But if you read between those verses, you'll see that in the last days there also be people going from house to house, um, entangling, entangling vulnerable or weak women. And this is what coaches do. See, a
Yeah.
lot of times people going through hard times in life, you catch them at the right time, you can get them with your message because the as I think one witness said that the watchtower or God's kingdom is gonna answer everybody's problem. No matter what you're going through,
Yeah.
God's kingdom is gonna solve it. So a lot of times you're going through a hard time that's when you're at your most vulnerable state, when you're going through a hard time in life, when you're at your vulnerable state. Somebody come at you at the right time, telling you the right thing, they can get you. You know what I'm
Yeah. And
saying?
TW went on to say, like death, drugs, and poverty, like they always come from something. And I mean, that's what they do. They prey on people like that, because they feel as though like automatically, okay, they're not really looking for anything to try to build themselves up. Really, I mean, they're
Yeah.
stuck in this situation. But yeah, it's time to look
Mm-hmm.
at it like this, man. Like when I left the organization, and it's kind of like. I had to adapt to the way this world was. And it's like whatever energy I put out there, it's what I'm going to get in return. For me, it was like this. I yes, I made my wrong decision on getting involved with with my ex and everything like that and all that other stuff. But when I started putting the good energy out, when I really started to really work on myself, go to school, go to college, finish college, get a degree, um, saying or get a certificate or get a CDL license or whatever heavy equipment, just whatever, something to basically benefit you. When you start to do that, then you're only going to get good in return. They won't need a watch tower anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like they always prey on people that are confused and have not made the
Mhm.
right decisions or are stuck in a conundrum at one point in time in their life, and then Watchtower comes in and like, oh, well, this has to be the right religion, and they present themselves well. I mean, sure, you see people dressed up and they get love bombed and everything like that. Nobody don't
Mhm.
see no wrong in it a lot of times.
Yeah.
I used to have this guy used to work with me that, and he wasn't never baptized or nothing like that, but I used to work with him for about 3 years at the dollar store when I was living back at home. And so I guess his wife was a witness, but I mean he was just studying. And I mean, yeah, Buddy he was a mess. And I don't mean that in a nice way. He was a mess, like literally. Like I mean, he was just he was sloppy. But I mean, he was a cool dude, but he was sloppy, so to say. But anyway, he hits me up one time, and I'm on my way to South Carolina. This was like 2 years ago. So he hits me up, and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on with you? I ain't talked to you in a while." And I'm like, "I'm doing good, man. I ain't heard from you in a while either. How's it going?" And so then he says, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I talked to your moms, man." He said, "What you doing now, man? You only got a little bit of time left. This system's about to end." I'm like, I'm sitting here,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, "Look, man, it's good to hear from you too, man." I said, "Look," I said, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm in a car right now. I'm sitting here with my family, and we listen to music, and I'm riding down to South Carolina. I said, I'm married now. I'm working my job, and I'm pretty much good right now. I'm doing well, doing very well. Oh, he's like, oh, well, yeah, yeah. Well, I just want to let you know, you can always come back to Jehovah. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, this dude right here, like, come on, man. You sit up there and you married, and you sit up there and be trying to run everything that
Yeah.
come inside the dollar store. Like, come on, man. You
Yeah.
being fake.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
you
Hey. What?
know,
What? What day? What day was that?
on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that explains it, man. That was service day. He was out on service.
Right.
He was out on
He was
service.
trying to make some time.
Yeah, he trying to
but
get
yeah,
some time in.
yeah, but that's how it is, man. The everyday life of a XJW, man. You may get a phone call, a random phone call from somebody
Yeah,
that just not seen your parents, something like that, or somebody, and they'll just jump out to you and reach out to you to try to get you to quote unquote come on back. But
yeah,
my thing is this though, man. Aside from all that, why can't you just sit there and ask me how am I doing without trying to invite me?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
What I'm saying? Do you really
Yeah,
care about my well being? Like honestly, do you really care about it, or do you care about just seeing me in only this one position or this
yeah.
one particular building?
I think your well being is tied to being in the Kingdom Hall. Other than that, you're Walking Dead. I think other
Yeah,
than that, man, you're Walking Dead. If you're not at the Kingdom Hall, you're dead. You're a dead man walking.
the dead man walker. So God is gonna kill a man that is raising his daughter, and they're living right. He's married. He's not living in fornication. All the ducks are all right, but he just doesn't go to the kingdom hall.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
That
pretty
sounds like
much
a
it, man.
that sounds like a really good religion. That's a
Yeah,
good religion,
exactly.
a good God right there.
Exact.
I'm telling you.
Exactly. But I mean, even and even if you read, I mean, but even if you read the New Testament, right? That was the same sentiment of Christians
hmm
in the first century. If you don't believe Jesus is the Christ, God's wrath was upon you. and it's very
Mm,
that's very oh man, I don't know how to describe that, but you could be a person that does good for other people. You could help other people out. But if you did not believe Jesus was the Christ, God's wrath was upon you. It's like, wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. God's wrath,
But
man.
you
The
want to
person
know
that
something
created
though?
me.
On a final point though, because I'm glad you said that. Did they not tell when okay? So when the Portuguese and everybody else were sent out to go to other lands, and they were told to convert
Mhm.
these the natives there to Christianity, right?
Yeah.
They said that, and I think it was in the they had various papal bulls, and it was kind of like if the people did not want to convert to Christianity, then they would they didn't want to obey, then they'll be harmed. Is that correct? You know about the papal bulls, right? Papal bull done the verses and all that other stuff.
I heard a little bit. I haven't really looked into that, but I know that they did try to convert through the sword. If you didn't agree with them, that you had to, yeah, either it's like convert or die, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
haven't
So
heard.
basically, it said this. I think one was the papal bull into Katera, and it was
Hmm.
issued by Pope Alexander the fourth, I believe. Yeah, yeah. V1 is sixth or fourth. I can't. I'm forgetting all this stuff. But
Hmm.
it basically was of May 4th, 1493, and basically what it did is stated that any land not inhabited by Christians was available to be discovered and claimed and exploited by Christian rulers, and declared that the Catholic faith and the
Hmm.
Christian religion be exalted and be
Yeah.
everywhere increased and spread, that the health of souls be cared for, and that the barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to faith itself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. 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 That's crazy. And a lot of that's Catholic stuff too. Yeah. It's crazy that they
Weren't you a
can use
Catholic
the.
though?
I wasn't a Roman Catholic. That
Uh
was
huh.
Catholic is not one, contrary to what the Joe Winters say.
Mhm.
Catholicism is not one thing. They have Greek Orthodox and they have Roman Catholic. It's not one
Right.
thing. So when you come to that, that was the Roman Catholics, and they pretty much split the earth by the Portuguese and the Spaniards. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, I was a Catholic, but we didn't believe in the Pope. We didn't believe in the Pope of Rome and things like that. We didn't believe that. We didn't have
Mhm.
the confession and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, that's very sinister to make somebody believe that if you don't agree with me, the creator of the earth is going to kill you. That's
Mhm.
very that's very narcissistic. It's very Ike
Yeah.
Turnerish. Um, if my God is going to kill me because I don't believe a certain way, that's like my
Mhm.
kids. If my kids say they don't agree with me, I'm gonna kill you. You know what?
Yeah.
If I told my kids that, what kind of parent would I be? Like, man, you gonna
Not
kill
only
me,
that,
God, for not
man.
believing?
Not only that,
God,
man.
dog.
Look, there's CPS.
Yeah,
CPS will be
exactly. Yeah,
on you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I mean,
CPS,
yeah,
CPS.
that's
Yeah,
an,
you would have an
but yeah, but
open
that
case.
yeah, that's in America, but some other countries don't really have that. But I mean,
Yeah,
even
true that.
still, like, God, dog, like, man, my God, you gonna kill me, like, man, because it don't matter what I do for you, God. If I don't believe what you said to believe, you gonna kill me.
Right.
Man, why did you let me live? Why did you just kill me with a baby, man? You gonna let me live all the way to I'm adult and kill me? Like, you a narcissistic dude, man. But
Hey, in
anyway, man,
closing, yeah. Oh, I got to
yeah,
tell you one more thing, man, before I go. Um, I think did I tell you that I was doing the African ancestry?
yeah.
Yeah, I told
Yeah,
you
you,
I told you. Did I tell you that it came back?
yeah. You from Nigeria or something?
No, that was the other one I did, man.
Oh, it's two
Yeah,
different
yeah.
results.
No, no.
Oh man, that's
Okay,
kind of
it's
damn.
no.
That
You
made me not
see,
want to spend my money.
right? Exactly. But hold on here. Hold on. Okay, so it's like this. Um, when you do ancestry.com, right? And there's so much
Uh huh.
controversy around ancestry.com. But
Yeah.
it took, because I thought of this too. But in other words, ancestry.com, what they do is they compare your ancestors against what? against other people's samples and everything like that. The African
Okay.
ancestry, I had to pay a lot more. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I mean, this mess was like, I ain't gonna tell you how much it was, but I mean, I had to pay a lot more. But anyway,
Yeah.
it traced my history on just my mother's side. They traced that all the way
Yeah.
to the men people of Sierra Leone.
Huh. Okay.
So it said that there was a woman about 500 to 2,000 some years ago, and that is the earliest area where they traced my maternal ancestry from. So from
Okay.
the you've heard them before, right? On Sierra Leone, the Men tribe.
No. No. No.
Yeah. Look them up, man. Anyway, I looked at the doggone the pictures and stuff, and they really do look like my people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting though, man. You kind of think of
Yeah. Yeah.
history. Our history just doesn't start in 1800s or 1600s, man. That mess
Yeah.
go
Most
far back,
definitely.
man. You know.
Yeah. 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 I'm gonna try to do it one day. I want to go far back because my last name is Cologne. And that
Uh
was
huh.
Christopher Columbus. That was Christopher Columbus' goddamn last name. I'm like, I
So
ain't gonna
hold
take
up,
that
you're descendant from
motherfucker.
Christopher Columbus, man.
No, no, I ain't good.
That's the
Well,
messing with you.
my dad is Puerto Rican, right? My dad's
I
Puerto
got you.
Rican. So when he went down, a lot of slaves were put down in Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
So they interbreeded with the Puerto Ricans out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got the same name as that motherfucking Christopher Columbus. I'm like, goddamn, man.
Yeah,
Out of all people last
I've
name.
got Welsh. I've got Welsh.
Oh shit,
yeah,
yeah.
in that
So
area.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
I do want to know my true ancestry, man. I want to know what part of Africa I came from.
you gonna
You
go
know what I'm
back?
saying? Then you can find out, a little bit about your culture, like
I
what
could
what.
I could see you right now going back there, be like, hey yo, this my tribe, I'm home, man. He was like,
Yeah,
who is
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember you, man. We told him not to go out there looking for that drum, man, but he decided to go out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no, because I believe, no, I truly believe, man, that our DNA has a lot of memory to it,
Yeah,
and um, I see, like, I can feel like energy. Like I feel people's energy. I don't know if that has anything. I feel people's energy when I go to. My mom says the same thing. They always talk about they can see like this dude, and we have a lot of like I want to say black magic, and I say that not to vilify it. Because I know
yeah,
like a lot of that came from Africa. But we have a lot of that in our ancestry. So I would like to go back and study like the roots of where I come from, like where we come from and the
yeah,
culture that we come from. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it.
yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, man, yeah. So yeah, we could try again, man. I want to do a part four with you, understand your interpretation of God. You know what I'm saying? That would be good to go to. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Maybe we
this is a
can.
good topic, man.
I think I would like to have. Maybe we can get a third person on here, or something like that. Michael A. and them or somebody like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoever you want, man. You know what I'm
Yeah. Get
saying? And
some of my crew. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna put this on here. Oh, my thing is about to die. Yeah, my tab is about to die. But right
So
there, man. Anybody, and as I said, man, I pretty much moved on off this JW jive. But man, anybody that's watching, man, that email right there, hit me up, man. If you want to come on and tell your story, as you seen the other guy that came on a couple weeks ago, he didn't show his face. You don't have to show your face. If you want to come on and tell your story, I'm all in, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a platform to tell your story, get it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one to really try to go in, but I'll listen, man. So hit me up if you want to go in, man. That email and yeah, but go ahead, man. My thing is gonna die,
oh yeah,
Marvin.
you
But
good,
yeah, go
man.
ahead, finish, and I'm gonna cut
No,
out.
I'm good. I'm going to cut. You going to cut off because I gotta get to bed. It's about to be it's getting kind of late over here. It's about to be 11 o'clock.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry. What was that?
yeah. No, I'm saying I gotta go ahead and turn it in because I gotta get on to bed and everything like that. But thank you everybody for listening to me. I hope
Shit.
I was able to. Yeah, you can go bye man. I'll close out. But but yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in, all that good stuff, and what I'm saying, hopefully maybe this information has allowed you all to really think about a lot of things and really question. Always question everything. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that we have to do. But anyway, y'all, stay tuned for our next video. We're gonna talk about my interpretation of God. It's kind of deep, what I'm saying. It really is very interesting. So, you all be easy and have a good one. And peace.